President Trump.
The Trump administrated Donald Trump.
President Trump.
Who is he? Who does he think he is to the people of South Africa and the one of Africa continent? Donald Trump should know that South Africa, it is not Iraq. South Africa, it is not Iran or Libya or any other nations that they have tried bring instability and destroy all over around the world. South Africa, it is a beautiful country which has been through a lot. South Africa, it is a nation which lives with the spirit of Ubuntu. And not what Donald Trump is trying to do to the people of South Africa that will make him succeed with his mission.
A few days ago, President Donald Trump made a statement to the effect that South Africa would not be invited to participate in the G20 in the United States. We must make it clear that South Africa is one of the founding members of the G20. We will continue to participate as a full, active and constructive member of the G20. We offer the people of the United States nothing but goodwill and friendship, with respect and with dignity as equal sovereign countries. South Africa is a constitutional democracy with a Bill of Rights that guarantees equality under the law. We must never allow others to try to redefine our country and cause divisions amongst us or dictate who we are as a nation. We know who we are. We are South Africans. We are defined by our ability to work together and to find solutions to problems that beset our country.
Every year, there is a G20 summit which takes place in different countries, whereby we get to see a nation which hosts everyone will pass a wooden armor to the next host of this G20 summit. Well, that was not the case for South Africa this year, because South Africa was the host of G20 summit for the first time in the Africa soil. A G20 summit which came under the higher tensions between the two nations, South Africa and the United States of America. This was an historic moment for South Africa. But Donald Trump ruled that moment for South Africa. He did not attend this G20 summit. Instead, he decided to boycott this G20 by even trying to influence other nations and with their leaders to not attend this G20. Donald Trump refuses to even send his delegates to participate in this G20 summit, even though the United States of America will be the next host of this G20 summit. But when was the moment for this exchange to take place? Donald Trump was nowhere to be found, and President Ramaphosa closed this G20 without passing the armor to the next host.
I now say that this gavel of this G20 summit formally closes this summit and now moves on to the next president of the G20, which is the United States, where we shall see each other again next year. The summit is therefore closed.
Where is the United States?
They're not here.
Now the question is, why did the President Ramaphosa not passing the armor to the next host? Well, it's for a simple reason. Because Donald Trump was nowhere to be found. Donald Trump, he totally boycotted this G20 in South Africa for the reasons which we're going to discuss with you in a second. But he refused to also send even his own representative. In the last minute, he then decided to send someone. Not someone from the high profile, no, but someone who have just to go there and collect this armor, or should I say, make these exchanges. Unfortunately for him, South Africa government, they did not entertain Donald Trump. They refused to pass this armor to the person whom Donald Trump have sent.
We have communicated with the US Embassy that we remain available from tomorrow morning to assist and facilitate the handover at an appropriate equivalent level of the charge from the US. It's up to them. The offer is on the table. Whether they take it or not, But from our side, our understanding is that on the 1st of December, the G20 will now go to the US. The handover is really ceremonial, but there are certain aspects that may need to be handed over. So there is a need for that communication. For example, the official website of the G20 has to be handed over to the next country that needs to take over the G20 and so forth. So there is a need of some communication. And the South African government, we want a seamless transition. We are going to cooperate, work with the US to do all the necessary handover. The only thing we're saying, it must be done at an equivalent, appropriate level.
Are you going to be in Florida in 2026?
Yes, definitely. South Africa will participate.
There's no suggestion in there that the next meeting's going to be in 2027.
We are a member state of the G20. We are not an invited guest country. We are a member state of the G20. So we have a right to participate, and we will be participating.
Well, that did not make Donald Trump feel good at all. Yes, Donald Trump get angry. And we all know what this man does when he gets angry. He have his own way of communicating. He jumped on and he went in his social media on X and he tweeted over there saying that the United States of America did not attend the G20 summit in South Africa because the South Africa government refused to acknowledge the horrible you know the rest of the story, isn't it? But it did not only stop there. It then went on to say that South Africa is not invited to the next G20 summit in the United States of America. Can you imagine that? That is Donald Trump saying such things to another sovereign country, to another head of the state who represents the entire nation, in behalf of a big organization such as the G20, which is not his private yard, which is not something that belongs to himself that he can get to decide on his own. He went on and saying that South Africa is not gonna attend this G20 summit in the United States of America.
His action is actually threatening to collapse the G20 because it goes against the values and the principles of the G20.
Mr. Trump and his administration are behaving like a petulant child, quite frankly.
Why isn't Donald Trump coming tomorrow? Because he has a 4-year-old mentality and he's having a tantrum.
Now, in most of the case, Donald Trump like it this way. He like more attentions. Whenever he attacks a head of the state through his press conference or in his social medias, he kind of like expecting this individual to react back or to escalate whatsoever could be the debate. But what happened now in this case? Well, Donald Trump considered himself as a fire from the moment when he went on his social media to make this kind of announce, addressing another sovereign country such as South Africa. Guess what President Ramaphosa did? President Ramaphosa chose to become an ice, which ended up holding up this fire by only saying one simple word to Donald Trump as in response. President Ramaphosa said that
all G20 members attended all the G20 related meetings throughout the year, except for one member country. It is regrettable that the United States of America, which is a founding member of the G20 and which takes over the presidency of the G20 from South Africa in 2026, chose not to participate in the G20 Leaders Summit and the final meetings leading up to that summit. It is even more unfortunate that the reasons the United States gave for its non-participation were based on baseless and false allegations that South Africa is perpetrating genocide against Afrikaners and the confiscation of land from white people. This is blatant misinformation about our country. A few days ago, President Donald Trump made a statement to the effect that South Africa would not be invited to participate in the G20 in the United States. He repeated untrue statements about genocide against Afrikaners and the confiscation of land from white people in our country. We must make it clear that South Africa is one of the founding members of the G20, and South Africa is therefore a member of the G20 in its own name and right. We will continue to participate as a full, active and constructive member of the G20. Despite the challenges and misunderstandings that have arisen between South Africa and the United States, South Africa remains a firm and an unwavering friend of the American people. We offer the people of the United States nothing but goodwill and friendship. We affirm our commitment to continue to engage in dialogue with the United States government and to do so with respect and with dignity as equal sovereign countries. We value the United States government and its people as a partner. We have common interests, common values, and a shared wish to advance the prosperity and well-being of the people of both of our countries. South Africa is a constitutional democracy with a Bill of Rights that guarantees equality under the law. We have an independent judiciary able to uphold our constitution and defend the rights of all South Africans. We are a country that has a tradition of dialogue, that has an enduring ability to come together to confront the challenges that we face. South African problems must be solved by South Africans themselves. We must never allow others to try to redefine our country and cause divisions amongst us or dictate who we are as a nation. We know who we are. We are South Africans. We are defined by our ability to work together and to find solutions to problems that beset our country.
Which brings us now to next question. Can Donald Trump be able to ban South Africa from South Africa to attend this G20?
South Africa is one of the founding members of the G20. It will require consensus amongst the members to either uninvite a country or invite a country. You will recall in 2022 there were attempts to remove Russia. Those attempts did not succeed because they couldn't find consensus. Equally now, we doubt that, in fact, not that we doubt, President Trump will not find any consensus around uninviting South Africa.
Can Donald Trump have the power to stop South Africa to not attend this G20 summit in the United States of America? The short answer to that is that no. But the long answer is that yes, in a way that he can try to make life very difficult for South Africa as he's trying to do it right now. How? Let me explain. For example, by him trying to not give South Africa delegate visa and not organizing any necessary things that they usually do, like booking hotels for them and showing everything, like welcoming them at the airport. That is capable of doing it because it's the host. But in the rules of the G20 summit, is Donald Trump having that authority and power to stop South Africa to not attend this G20 summit? The answer will be no. Why? Because G20 summit, it is international organizations. It does not belong to anyone, and it does not have a leadership whereby you can say that I'm the president or I'm the deputy president. I can decide something and things will have to go on my own ways. It does not work like that, and that's where Donald Trump got it wrong, because that's not going to happen. But at the same time, what can members of the G20 summit do in order for them to stop Donald Trump from all this nonsense? Are they just going to keep quiet, even though they know that this is the truth? about the positions which South Africa have tried to stand about whatsoever Donald Trump is raising up as allegations against South Africa? Are they just going to keep quiet, or are they going to do something in order for them to stop Donald Trump from all this nonsense that he's been doing?
Now, last night, the US president announced that he will not invite South Africa to the next G20 summit in the US. So my question to you is, how do you plan to respond? Will you still travel to Florida without one of the most important representatives of the Southern Hemisphere, or will you choose not to go? It would be interesting to know how you intend to respond to this.
As for the G20 sentiment, I regretted that the American government was not present last weekend in Johannesburg. The American government is needlessly giving up influence, including in a part of the world that is becoming increasingly important. And I will try in my conversations and meetings with the American president until we have the G20 summit in the USA to convince him that it would be good to invite all members of the G20 to America as well, because this is one of the most important multilateral formats we still have in the world. And in my view, the G7 and G20 are formats that should not be abandoned without good reason, should be diminished or made smaller than they are. They are important, and of course I will accept the invitation of the American president, but until then I will try to convince him to also invite the South African government.
Well, they can also do that by boycotting this G20 summit in the US, because no one has the power, as I just explained, no one has the power to stop another country to go there. It has to come as a final decision from each and every member of the G20 summit. And it's not going to be as a decision from someone. Donald Trump, he may choose to not participate in South Africa G20 summit, but he does not have the power to stop another person. This is a personal decision which any leader can decide to take, as much as Donald Trump refused to come to South Africa. Donald Trump is talking about Afrikaners, how they are being mistreated in South Africa. Is that the case? No, because we all know that Donald Trump is trying to say what's pleasing him. Donald Trump is trying to punish South Africa. Punish South Africa for what reasons? Well, we all know that Donald Trump is trying to punish South Africa because of what South Africa did to his allies, Israel, by going to bring this case of genocide in Gaza to ICJ. For that reason, they decided to punish South Africa, because they know that the truth is there. And the courage which South Africa had manifested so far in the entire world, well, it takes only a country which went through the same struggle in order for them to have that such kind of courage to take this case to the courts. And Donald Trump is trying to do everything in his power to punish South Africa for that. Now, I heard someone on the radio saying that no, I think we can't challenge the United States of America with someone as a Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is going to make our life miserable, it's going to make us what. You know, I was laughing because listen to someone say such a things. I feel like these are the kind of people who can sell you and our sovereignty as a nation on a peanut money. Why? Because they're afraid that no, if we respond back to America, this is what's going to happen. If we say this is what's going to happen. South Africa never provoked Donald Trump or the United States of America. Not any way possible. No, nothing like that. But it is Donald Trump who comes with his own strategy and his own ways of doing things around. He wants to make sure that everyone, they must know that Donald Trump have done 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the one who's keep on hunting South Africa in every different way. After ambushing President Ramaphosa in the Oval press conference that they held, it's still going on, attacking South Africa via AGOA, suspending South Africa from this and that. A lot of things which has been happening already so far. He kite a lot of aids from South Africa. Yet South Africa is still holding up. Now, I like the response of the EFF. Yes, the EFF, they give a very muscular response to Donald Trump and his administration by saying that no, the problem is that Donald Trump is afraid. And he had failed to dominate himself on South Africa, because they end up realizing that South Africa is not just like any nation out there which can bow before the US or before Donald Trump pressure. Because that's what we are seeing here. If the government of President Ramaphosa decide today to bow before Donald Trump, trust me, all this noise you guys are seeing Donald Trump making in his social medias is gonna finish in a second. It's gonna stop everything. But for the fact that South Africa refused to bow to the oppressors with their system and everything, that's why you see Donald Trump is going insane. And I like the fact that all South Africans remain united, black, Indian, white, colored, everyone remain united against these oppressors, against this Donald Trump who's trying to impose his leadership on South Africa. Donald Trump is aware of a lot of things. He knows very well. He's planning something. He wants to bring that instability in South Africa, so that tomorrow he's gonna come and say that no, we want to build a military base somewhere in South Africa. No, we want to do this, we want to do that. And that's not gonna work. Dear Donald Trump, that's not gonna work. As I said, South Africa, it is not Iraq, which they went in and they killed Saddam Hussein. No, South Africa, it is not Libya, which they went in and killed Muammar Gaddafi. No, South Africa, it is not Iran, which they just went in and bombard their facilities, nuclear facilities. No, South Africa, it is not like one of those countries that they can go out there and impose their leadership on. South Africa, it is a democratic country, a country which went through a lot. Millions of South Africans died for this democracy. So not even Donald Trump will come and try to threaten this democracy of South Africa by trying to divide South Africans and by trying to come in and imposing his leadership and the one of Americans in South Africa. That's not something that will happen under our watch. We're not going to sit here and watch Donald Trump to do all these things. So it is for that reason we're inviting everyone to remain positive, to remain united, to stand against this imperialism system that they are trying to impose on South Africans. Guys, I believe that to be all. Thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate. Before you leave, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more video like this to come. And for now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.